Om Tat Sat Divine Self. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti channel from Swami Nikhilananda. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, to Lord Rama, Lord Hanuman, and all sages and saints, and to each of you divine soul watching today's satsang. So currently we are covering in this three-part session the mysticism of Ramayana and its significance in our life. So today it's the final section, and then tomorrow we will be covering picking up the holy scripture that our Guruji Swami Jyotirmayanandaji has written and explained in a beautiful way, mysticism of Ramayana. And it's a very beautiful, very deep scripture, and those of you who are devoted to Ramayana or who would want to learn more, please continue to subscribe, join this channel, and share with others, so you can also benefit and others can also benefit from this immense wisdom that our Guru has shared with us. So let's get started on the final section today. So Rama Rajya is the ideal of governance according to the Hindu Sanatan Dharma culture. Rama means Brahman, Rajya means his rule. So everywhere we should be thinking of the Brahman ruling. It rules the whole cosmos, the whole universe. Every particle has Brahman in it. So we need to understand that that's the deeper significance of Rama Rajya. During Rama's time, there was a unique congregation of enlightened personalities. These days there are very few enlightened people on planet Earth, and we are so blessed to have one such enlightened personality in physical form in our life, in the form of our Guruji Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj. As many of you may know, Divine Life Society in Rishikesh, India, Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj right here, our Guruji Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj. So it's an immense blessing and an act of punya, good karmas from many lifetimes, that you come into association with such sages and saints. So my humble prostrations to all of them, all these people, and every one of the serious spiritual aspirant that is applying these teachings in their daily life. So Rama was enlightened. That's what enlightened personality means. And he ruled the kingdom with the help of Sita, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughana, Hanuman, sage Vasishtha, and ministers, and all of them were also enlightened. So imagine what a wonderful, that's why it's called a Rama Rajya, that people were very ethical, they were very they were truthful, and they were affluent yet humble. So all the good qualities existed. If any country were to be ruled by enlightened personalities who are devoid of selfishness, pride and greed, and who are deeply imbued with the lofty qualities of head and heart, then without a doubt there will be peace and harmony in that country. So contrast that to today's Kali Yuga, where people are for greed, lying, and committing all kinds of wrong crimes, and things like the insurrection that happened recently in America, and everybody still is supporting that wrong act. So many people, not everybody, but the nation is split, and so many adversities are coming because of people's selfish behavior and me first approach. So that has to eventually dissolve, go away. People need to be more kind, compassionate. Look at all the airplane fights that happen these days, just for masks and things like that. It is truly very sad when we see that happening, but just this is to contrast that this is not just a myth. These things did happen. People were enlightened, people were kind, compassionate, and wonderful. And even today there are some very few nations like Bhutan and stuff that where there is still a lot of happiness and joy, and they try to preserve that culture. But the more materialistic we get, the more agitated, the more greedy, the more stress we are facing. And technology, although has its benefits, but I would say that the evils are equally prevalent there too. Look at what happened with all this Facebook name change to Meta, this, that they're doing. But how many crimes were committed, how much bad organization was done. I'm just sharing these things so we can relate to what is possible versus where we are. And this is what Bhavishya Puran actually has predicted all these things. In Sanatan Dharma, they do say that Kali Yuga, which is this age of materialism, will be very disruptive to spirituality, and we are seeing that happen. Although many of us, many of you are deeply spiritual souls and on your journey towards the right path, so it is our humble duty to continue to light our candle, shine the light wherever there is darkness with humility, love and compassion. That is the message that my guru has lived all his life, and I plan to do the same thing. Just by fighting and criticizing and getting angry will never be the answer. So you be the role model. Don't expect things to change automatically. We have to be the change, and do it gently, serenely, with love. That is the point that Swamiji is explaining here. So the ringing note of Ramayana is what? Devotion to God. Of all the paths leading to liberation, devotion is the easiest. They say Mukti Bhakti ki dasi hai, which means Mukti means liberation, Bhakti is devotion. So if you are very devoted to God, liberation comes as a byproduct. It is easily accessible to all. In devotion, you don't need big degrees, you don't need to be very qualified, you don't need to understand the subtle mysteries. Just have faith and love. So that is the devotion. When bhakti or devotion is secured, mukti comes behind. With bhakti as the central theme, the Ramayana teaches a blend of all the yogas, which are action, devotion, meditation and reflection. It's called integral yoga, and it's a very simple way in today's Kali Yuga to spiritualize our daily life. Bhagavan Rama is propitiated by the mantra Om Shri Ramaya Namaha, Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. And then for Hanuman we say Om Shri Hanumate Namaha, Om Shri Hanumate Namaha, etc. So this is and these mantras are extremely powerful. They go in, it's like a seed that starts growing into a big tree. So once we start with that, it starts to take roots. But if you have a qualified guru guiding you, that's a huge blessing to have. A proper qualified guru in today's Kali Yuga to share with us these mystical, deeper meanings and secrets. And I hope I'm doing my bit by sharing these nuggets of wisdom that I have secured from my Guruji with all of you. So if you're liking this, continue to support the channel and spiritualize your life. That is the essence of my mission on earth right now after taking sannyasa. So Rama is essentially Brahman. Rama is Brahman, which means the all-pervading consciousness. He's beyond all mental concepts. Our mind is only a tool. Our body is only a tool. Intellect is only a tool. Ego is only a tool. All these things are mere instruments. We are not that. So Brahma is therefore even greater than all divine manifestations conceived and invoked by the human mind. So we have to eventually transcend the mind. Not all things can be interpreted with our intellect alone. Therefore, Saint Tulsi Das Ji portrays Rama as greater than thousands of Vishnus, Brahmas and Shivas. So we have to understand this with a deeper mystical eye, that when we say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, that is part of Srishti or part of creation. But with each creation there is a pralaya or dissolution, and then there is a creation again. So then again there is a God, generate, operate, destroy, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And so the cycle continues on and on. But Lord Rama, or Brahman, when you say Brahman, that means that that is the all-pervading consciousness that creates this entire cosmos and universe itself. That is why Tulsidas ji is saying that. And devotion to Rama and to Hanumanji is like para bhakti. Bhakti is devotion, para bhakti is supreme devotion, where you get into an enlightened stage, an intoxicated stage, where all you see is your connectivity with the supreme and energy. That is called enlightenment. Realization of Rama is the goal of our life. And if we are walking on this path, how blessed we are. Just know that this is not a product of your this current lifetime. This means if you are interested in satsanga and you're enjoying these holy satsangs, and you are enjoying the nectar of scriptures, know that you have already done many good deeds and many penances and malas and tapasya in your previous lifetimes, for you to bring with you all this spiritual inheritance that you are now further enhancing. So if you are one of those, then tears should be coming down your eyes, rolling down your eyes right now, thanking the divine energy, thanking our Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda ji, Shivananda ji, Shankaracharya ji, Hanuman ji, Ram ji, Mata Sita, and all the divine energies who are guiding us, and my Dandavat pranams to my Guruji, because without him I would be nothing. I was a totally materialistic person, lost in life, and didn't understand what my mission was, what life meant, and he took me under his wing and converted me slowly from a crow and shaping me into a swan. So that is now it is my desire that each of us, whoever wants to connect with us, join us, enjoy the same bliss that I am experiencing. May you all receive the blessings of Bhagavan Ram. With this, we conclude this general overview, and tomorrow we will be starting mysticism of Ramayana, which is a beautiful, wonderful scripture narrated by our Guruji. Most of you already know Ramayana, or you may have heard of the stories, but the way he takes each episode and how he breaks it down into our daily life adds a totally different dimension, and I hope you are also experiencing that in your daily life. So with this, I conclude today's satsanga. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Divine blessings. Om Tat Sat.